Hi there, folks. We're Travel with Johnny and Will, and this is our fifth vlog. Today we are docked in Corsica. However, um, we're not getting off the ship. Um, Basically, today we had a late start. If you watched our previous vlog, we had discussed obviously about how there was quite a lot of motion, and I fell short. I basically was a fallen one to see sickness, and this is the first time in 17 cruises that I have felt this way on a ship. So because we didn't sleep well the night before, we had a very long lie in, and then we got up, got ready, and went for lunch.
Yeah, so we went up to the pool deck, to the patio for about this. The patio is basically what Azamara call their poolside grill. Unfortunately, at this point, I wasn't feeling the best, so I only really had like a baked potato and a bit of cheese. It's a bit unfortunate. They didn't really have any like a normal cheddar, like a mature cheddar that we'd have in the UK. It was all more Swiss style
Yeah,
and stuff like
Parmesan.
that. Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to get like a baked potato with beans and cheese like you would in the UK. So that was a little bit disappointing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because we'd sort of been rocked the whole night. I think we felt as if we were still being rocked.
Yeah.
So even though we weren't feeling sick, we still sort of had that sort of feeling of nausea a bit. I just had some chicken strips, a little bit of lettuce, and some fries, and they were beautiful. And I was really hungry at that point, and all I wanted was just something to eat and a full fat Coca Cola, just to give me a sugar fix. Um, but yeah, it was okay. Unfortunately, Will wasn't feeling great, so his experience was worse than mine.
So then we went downstairs to deck five to the Mosaic Cafe. And the Mosaic Cafe is where you can get little treats on board. They have like crackers and cheese at times. They also have like a selection of like little biscuits and cookies, and then obviously a full range of hot drinks. And they also have alcoholic coffees, which they charge a premium for.
Yeah, they are included if you go for the top drinks package.
Yeah.
I think it's the ultimate, is it called? They are included if you go for the ultimate drinks package on board. But we just had a couple. I had a coffee and a hot chocolate.
Yeah.
And I had a little peanut butter cookie, which was very yummy. And actually, because it was around lunchtime, they actually had little wraps and little sandwiches, little finger sandwiches, and that sitting there too. But we'd already eaten, so I was happy with my peanut butter cookie.
And then we just took a little walk around the top decks as it was a nice day. And then we actually chilled for most of the afternoon. We didn't really resurface again until about 5 p.m.
I think our bodies just needed to relax, chill, and not be shook.
Yeah.
I sat outside for a bit in the balcony. You sort of did a bit of work on your computer. But yeah, I think we just needed this time just to regroup and refocus our bodies.
So as we were getting ready to go out to Discoveries, which is the main dining room on board, I had noticed a little boat nearby, and this boat was the pilot boat. So for those of you who don't know, the pilot is a seafarer or a person that knows about the port that we're either going into or the port that we're leaving, and they basically come on board and they ensure that the captain and all the crew on board the vessel that we're currently on know exactly what they're doing, and they sort of are the local expert for the port that we are either entering or leaving, and they just come on board and they make sure that everybody on board knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I suppose it's nearly like another like sort of like insurance policy nearly, that the captain, even though he's manoeuvred in these ports before, has that person there just to guide him if need be. So yeah, in Discoveries, tonight the theme tonight, we didn't really go for. I think we were sort of still feeling a wee bit, oh, what to eat, what not to eat, and we sort of wanted to try and play it safe. We both had the French onion soup, um, which Will didn't really touch.
I didn't like it at all. I thought that the French onion soup should have like a crusty cheese layer on top, but this cheese was soaked in the actual liquid of the French onion soup, and then the liquid
Yeah.
itself was very liquidy, and
and that is what French onion soup's like.
I know, but I just
wasn't-
took one spoonful of it and I was like, no, I don't
Yeah.
even want it.
It wasn't the best French onion soup, I have to say. I have tasted better on other ships, but it was all right. It was just all right. We both then had steak. For
the
our
steak
main.
was a lot better.
The steak was lovely. This is the second time I've had steak this week. But it was really tasty, very juicy, and I didn't have any sauce or anything with mine,
No.
but it really didn't need it. And it came with some veg and a baked potato, and then we also had a few steak fries just thrown in for good measure, and then dessert. So you had.
It was called like an apple tart and peanut butter gelato. I'm not sure what was like tarty about it. It didn't obviously I know you can get apple tarts that have fruit on the top, but this basically just had a pastry base, some sort of little custard layer, and then little strawberries on top. And I don't know, there was something about the custard layer that I just didn't really
Strawberries
like.
on top of an apple tart.
There was strawberries on it. Was it not described as an apple tart? No,
Yeah.
there was no strawberries. It was just apples.
It was just apples.
Sorry. So yeah, apples were on top. But yeah, the
You didn't look
liquidy custard
impressed.
layer, it just, if I'm being really frank, it smelled like paint or something. I don't know. I didn't really like it either. So we've started off at the main dining in Discoveries being like really, really amazing, and then I think our expectations are really
Up
high
there,
now.
but they're
and
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had chocolate fondue, which whenever I read it on the menu, I thought, oh my goodness, it says, a chocolate fondue with a selection of fruit and marshmallows. So the plate comes in, as you can see.
But I actually thought that they were going to wheel out like a chocolate fountain,
Oh, no.
and then they were going to put the fruit in and then like skewer them off on.
No.
I don't know. I really thought something like that would have happened.
My idea was that you would maybe get like a little metal pot
Yeah.
with chocolate in it.
Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Melted chocolate.
Yes, melted
Yeah.
chocolate in it. And that basically you'd have like sort of fresh strawberries or whatever, and marshmallows
Or
to sort of
grapes
dip in, or
and
grapes,
marshmallows,
whatever. No, this was a really watery, chocolatey kind of,
And it was cold.
yeah, gloop.
And you
With-
got pineapple.
Yeah, with 2 wee bits of pineapple, 2 slices of banana, and then a couple of wee marshmallows, and then 2 bits of like an old brownie,
Yeah.
which wasn't nice. And then I put some of the sauce over the brownie to think, and then, no, I didn't even eat it. And I love chocolate, but I was really disappointed. Yeah, it wasn't good.
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't our best.
Wasn't good. Then actually we were leaving, and as we left the restaurant, we went to we went to the Mosaic Cafe for a cuppa, and
So I had hot chocolate.
what I had hot
Yeah, hot
chocolate,
chocolate, yeah.
and I actually just had a cappuccino, but we were sitting there, and then we'd heard people passing by to say that they were at the Windows Cafe, and it was Indian, and they had Indian food up there, and there was a beautiful butter chicken,
Oh, yeah.
and I was sitting there going, oh, I would have loved butter chicken. And I was sort of thinking, why did we waste our time? We could have went up there. But maybe what we need to do then for
Check out the two menus
yeah, maybe that's
and
what
have a
we need to
little
do.
comparison.
Yeah, then decide where we're going for dinner. The other thing just to mention here, just about dinner, I know obviously we've sort of skipped forward about getting our coffee and stuff after, was as part of our package, we have one specialty dining experience, which either can be in Prime C, which is the steakhouse on board, or the Aquilina, which is the Italian.
Yeah.
However, we haven't been able to book that as yet because they seem to have set seating times. And because of the time of the
Yeah.
show being 9:15, they were like, the only time we've got is the second seating, which is like 8:30. So that's no good if you want to go to the cabaret show. So, yeah, that's a bit disappointing. So we might today see if we can get maybe a cancellation or something. But it looks as though we're not going to be able to use that park.
Yeah.
So after our coffee, the shops were open because we were at sea. And so we had a wee look around. There are sort of 2 main shops. One that sort of sells your jewellery, and one that sells your Azamara branded items, and clothing. Yeah,
Yeah, so there's one shop's the Pursuit shop, and then the little jewelry section on the other side, which is indulgences.
Indulgences, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So after a quick browse around those shops, we went back to our cabin, and again, I don't know, even though we had slept until lunchtime, I was just still really tired. And basically, yeah, we watched a bit of TV, and then we decided to call it a night, or so we thought.
So yes, Will was lying sleeping. I was sitting up in the chair, and the next minute I hear a crew command for Alpha, Alpha, Alpha.
Which I didn't hear.
Yeah, you didn't hear. So of course I knew that I hadn't heard this before, apart from like safety drills, and I thought, oh, so I started to Google, and that basically meant that there was a medical emergency on board, and they shared the cabin number where the medical emergency was. So after that, around 20 minutes later, I think it was, Captain Antonio came over the public address system and had informed us that yes, there was indeed an announcement for a medical emergency, and that the passenger was unwell, was stable, but needed to be removed from the ship. So they had organised for a helicopter to come and do a medical evacuation.
So this seems to be a cruise of firsts. It's the first time Johnny's got ill from seasickness, and now for us to witness this medical evacuation. It was very, very loud, and when you opened that window, Johnny, it was extremely, extremely loud, and it was quite sort of scary to see this happening, because obviously we were in the middle of the Med between Corsica and Menorca, so yeah, it was very scary.
Yeah, we're located on deck 8, and obviously then the evacuation was taking place on deck 10. So the helicopter was very close to where we were. So and obviously there's a lot of danger involved with that. So we were quite worried, obviously, just about obviously the safety of obviously the passenger who took on well, being airlifted off, and as well as that, our fellow passengers on board and the air crew that were flying this helicopter too. Thankfully, obviously we're recording this the next morning. This morning, Captain announced that the passenger has been taken obviously to hospital and is stable and is getting the care and attention that they require, and that they're doing well.
Yeah.
So that's good to hear. But it just sort of really shows you the importance, folks, of having travel insurance whenever you go away. I sort of like have heard people talking before about how they don't really get travel insurance, and I'm like, oh no, I couldn't even think about that.
Yeah, you definitely need some insurance for your own well-being. Yeah, you never know what could happen when you're at sea, so
just never know.
Better to have your insurance. Thanks for watching this video to summarise our day 5 on board Azamara Pursuit. If you liked it...
Even though it was a boring video.
Oh. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing and ring the bell so you don't miss out on our next upload. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.